Hey everyone, welcome to For the Week. Today we're sitting down with Swifty, and he's gonna tell us a little bit about himself, so go right ahead.
Oh, we're gonna jump right in. Okay.
Yeah.
So, character's name is Swifty. It's kind of been my persona for pretty much uh, since I've been in the fandom, because it was a slow evolution of a character that I developed before, or a nickname that I developed before I even knew the fandom existed. And once I found it, it kind of fit in pretty naturally. Always loved foxes as a kid. You can blame Robin Hood for that. Um, So as I was kind of developing a persona, this just kind of melded into this character right here, um, a swift fox, actual species of fox. And it's been just slow detail changes since then. The suit that you're looking at right now is a creative freedom suit that a good friend of mine made for me. It was only her third suit she ever made, and now this thing's going on almost 10 years old. Doesn't I don't bring it out too much anymore, but I figured for kind of light use, and if I'm gonna have a video shot of me talking about myself, I should probably wear the OG fursuit. Um, so that's kind of how it started a little bit, at least the basis of the character. Kind of developed on forums, creating a persona through that.
I noticed that your hoodie says Swifties on it. Is that where you got the name, or is that just a happy coincidence?
All right. Yeah. So the sweatshirt is a happy coincidence, and it's just something I recently, a friend of mine gave it to me. He was up on a motorcycle ride up in northern upstate New York, and on his just cruising around, he found a bar that Swifty's Bar, and he knows my nickname. He's not a fur, but he knows all about this. Swifty is kind of my nickname no matter where I go, inside and outside the fandom. And he popped in, saw that they're selling some sweatshirts. It was a perfect fit, and I absolutely love it. So that's where that came from.
Cool. So, how exactly did you find the fandom?
Well, back when I was a junior in college, had to do a research topic, a research paper for a biology class. Pick whatever topic you want to go on, and somehow, some roundabout way, I decided to pick on the repopulation of the swift fox in Montana, or one of the northern states. And while I was doing my internet research for that, I started typing in foxes into into Google search and Yahoo and all that. I came upon the website for Nation, and I'm not sure how many people still remember that, but that was kind of like a webzine for a lot of artists had their websites published on for Nation. And while looking for photos, discovered furry art. It's like, wow, that was kind of an interesting thing. I didn't have too much time to linger at the time, but I spent a little time browsing. It's like, oh, that's a nice little thing. Put that seed in my head. Come back to that a little bit later. Um, Sometime later, I was actually looking for some logo designs for Fox-related things. It's because I wanted a cool avatar picture on a forum I was on. Car-related thing, but Swifty, again, was my nickname back then. And came back to Furnation and an artist that had their website hosted there. Then started talking to him. Realized that there was a whole community based around it. Later on, I got to be friends with a webcomic artist and got really into the fandom and really started mingling with the people there. And that's where I met the person that built the fursuit. That's where I met a lot of people I'm still friends with to this day.
How has being a furry changed your life?
Hmm. That's a hard question to answer because you never know really how your life would have gone without that little diversion earlier on in life. I would probably say it's would have been a lot less interesting. One of the things that has kept me in the fandom all these years is the wealth of creativity and just the fantastic creative people that are in the fandom. I went to college for graphic design at first, switched it to mass communication and advertising, and always wanted to keep a bit of a creative side to myself open. And this has always been a good way for me to express it. If I hadn't done that, I probably would have leaned into some of my other hobbies a little bit more. Stuff like I was a amateur autocrosser in college. Did some light mechanic work. Not sure where it would have gone, but I'm kind of glad I stayed in the fandom, and here I am right now.
What's a piece of advice you'd give to new furries in the community?
Might have to say that you don't have to rush in and try to gain the attention or notoriety that a lot of people are clamoring for, it seems. At least that's the impression that I get. There's a lot of people that seem to be very overconscious about trying to get popular on the internet, and they worry too much about people who are popular and trying to gain their favor. I think the best thing that they could probably do is just focus on oneself and what you want to do in the fandom. Get what you want out of it and contribute to it as well. And if it's something that just, with anything, if it doesn't really seem to fit with you, don't try to force it. If it's not working out, if you don't really enjoy it that much, don't feel obligated to stay in it just because your circle of friends are into it. They'll still be your friends whether or not you like to put on ears and a tail or not.
Do you foresee yourself being a furry for years to come?
I think so. For me, I would probably just kind of gravitate away from it if it ever stops being fun. And I kind of ask that question to myself, usually after every big con, after I'm a little mentally and socially exhausted. It's like, why am I still doing this? And a day or two later, it's like, no, I really had an awesome time. I had a great time with my friends. And if I ever get to the point where I'll look back on, a big event or something I'm doing or the money I'm spending on the hobby and I'm not enjoying it anymore, I would probably slowly just kind of back away. No big drama where I'm going to just make an announcement on Twitter like I'm quitting the fandom or anything like that. So I would say for the foreseeable future, I'll stick around. I don't need to, make a big scene in the fandom, but like I said, I'm enjoying it still.
I think that about wraps it up. Are there any last remarks you'd like to say?
I'd just like to say that try to stay positive in the fandom. This is something that can bring a lot of joy to a lot of different people inside the fandom and out. I've done some volunteer work for suiting in public, for charities, and that is some of the best suiting experience, the most rewarding suiting experience I've ever had. So, getting up in a fursuit and dressing up like this and sweating like a madman isn't just to be running around in a con and partying. It can do a lot of good and bring a lot of joy to people that are outside the fandom as well. So if you haven't given thought to doing something like that, look into it a little bit. The people seem to really enjoy it. And especially if you can bring out enthusiasm through the suit and, show that you're having a lot of fun. It's kind of contagious.
Well, I really appreciate you sitting down with us today. It was a great interview, and I think that'll be it.
Awesome. Thank you very much.